Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are actually on our way to my own island, Neverland. It's done, it's finished, and I am very excited to give you the final tour. Let's go. And with that, hello again, and welcome to this last final tour of Neverland. As we all know, the big 2.0 update is fast approaching, and I, as many others, have decided to completely restart my island, which means I'll be essentially deleting Neverland, but that means the DA will stay up forever. So I think it's going to be okay, and making a new island with a new theme and all the new update stuff is going to be very, very exciting. But of course, I wanted to give you all a last final tour of my finished Plantcore Island. So that's what we'll do today. I'll show you around the entire island. Everything's decorated, including the beaches. Plus, I will give you a tour of my house, as that one is also complete. We will, of course, talk about my map for a little bit, and as with all of my other island tours, I will also create that little interview section at the very end of the video where I talk a little bit more about where I get my inspiration from, some stuff about my island flag and island name, and all of those kinds of things. So if you're interested in all of that, I would say let's go and tour Neverland one last time. And with that, welcome to Neverland. I hope the camera isn't going to cover too much, but of course you can visit this island yourself, maybe even as we tour today. And first, let's talk about the map. So as you can see, this island is heavily water and landscape. Also, for full disclosure, I have used treasure islands to build this island up, plus I have been time traveling, just as that little information and a heads up. And then I would say let's go and take a look at my villagers. So I have Hazel, Eric, Flurry, Winnie, Grizzly, we got Blair, Gonzo, Callie, Bones, and Zell. And of course there's me, kind of in the center. I think I'll talk a little bit more about the villagers as we go there. But I would say without losing too much time, let's go ahead. So, as the date, I have picked the 3rd of June, and there is a little bit of a double rainbow situation going on, which I think is quite cute. There's some presents right here by the entrance, some fun things that you can hold for some pictures, as well as an outfit by the resident services, so make sure you pick those up. And also there is some more stuff scattered all over the island. You're welcome to pick up any presents or any things that you see that you might want to use for pictures or just take with you, because it's a dream. It's not gonna change the island or anything. All right, so my island is a Plantcore Island. That was kind of the name that I gave it because I wanted it to be seriously with lots and lots of plants and very, very overgrown. And then we have the circular pathing on my island. I think this is probably a very important part of my island, of my decorating. You'll see that as we go along. But yeah, this is the entrance. Essentially, I wanted to block off the resident services that's to the left of my entrance, and then to contrast that, I just kind of open it up on the right-hand side. All right, and then let's go along. So right by the entrance here on this cliff, we'll go to that house later on because you can access it. That is Hazel's house. Hazel is actually one of my starter villagers. She's been around from the very, very beginning, since July 2020. I've just completely fallen in love with her, and she is a sisterly villager, so I kind of picture her to be very interested in whatever is going on the island, so she wants to know who visits and all of that kind of stuff. So she has the spot right here to keep an eye on everything. And then we have a diagonal bridge with this double bridge feature. A little bit of a pain to make this, but you know. And then let's go and follow the path down to Able Sisters, as the sign indicates. You will also notice that I do heavily use codes on this island. I like to practically litter everything with codes. It's just, I really like it, so I tend to really do that. Just to the left here, we have a little picnic spot by the water. You can just kind of chill and enjoy the view if you want to. And then my Able Sisters is placed right here on the beach, and it's like a bigger building and a bigger construct. So right on the beach we have the building itself, plus there is a flower crown workshop right here, so you could make your own little sunflower crown or any other flower crown that you want. And then in the area behind it, just up on this cliff, we have a like dress display area or like a little boutique. This is where Sable can make all the dresses and then kind of display her finished work so that everyone can see kind of what's in store. And then if we just run past this flower crown workshop, we also have this little lounge area. There's 3 different chairs, one for each of the Able sisters, plus because Label is not really here often, this one is actually for Blair, because Blair lives right here on the peninsula. Her hobby is fashion, so I kind of pictured her to want to live close to Able sisters and then also be in on all the gossip and all that kind of stuff. That was kind of the idea that I had behind that. Plus, Blair is actually my birthday twin. Her birthday is also on the 3rd of July. As soon as I found that out, I wanted her, couldn't find her for I think a year or so, and ended up using an amiibo. And she hasn't actually been on this island for too long. I do love her though. I think her house is really pretty and she's just adorable. Alright, if we head on to this path right here, I just made this little beach like overgrown. It was just kind of this filler beach behind the house here, so I thought, you know, let's just kind of make it very green and overgrown. And then this leads to Flurry's house. Flurry is my absolute favorite villager. I just think she is such a cute little marshmallow fluff ball. I love her. I gave her all kinds of cakes and then just like some friends to hang out with. She has also already been sitting on this pillow. It is adorable, let me tell you. It is absolutely adorable. And she takes care of this little store right here, which I call the plant supply shop. So you can buy all kinds of shovels and watering cans and all of that. And once again, of course, I kind of made sure to make it very overgrown. And then we practically have to backtrack. This happens quite a lot on my island. I found the flow to be like a very hard thing to do, but I think it's okay. But yeah, so if you walk back and then up these stairs, you can just follow along this little path. You get a glimpse of the green mum garden up here, which we'll go back to later on. And then we're heading on to my land bridge. There actually is a speed build of the entrance area, I think Flurry's house, and also the land bridge up on my channel. I will link all that kind of stuff below. There's an entire Neverland playlist if you ever wanted to check anything out. But yeah, this is the land bridge. I think this might be one of my favorite areas. I just really like the land and waterscaping. It's quite impressive if you like just like run over it. So I quite like this, even though there's not that much to tell about it. Like it's just a bridge, you know, it's just a bridge. But I kind of enjoy it. All right, then we got this little area here to the right, which is just my little floof area, as I like to call it. I just put these wobbly sheep. I don't know, that's not the official name, but I just put these down as a little farm, or you can sit down here and pet them or something like that. I really like it. I think it's a cute filler area. And then we have Eric and Gonzo living here. So let's go ahead and visit them. Also, of course, there is going to be a ladder dropped on my island. You technically don't need it anywhere, but it might make a few areas a little bit easier to explore. So feel free to pick that up, of course. Alright, so Eric lives here right next to the museum, and I gave him a little like bug study area. He is a lazy, so he constantly talks about all the bugs in his floor and all of that, so he has a lot of that. I also dropped the rotten turnips back there, so we have some ants running along. And I also gave him 2 more spots to kind of chill. One here to kind of draw his favorite bugs, or just kind of chill. He fell asleep on this the other day, which was adorable. And he can also walk all over here and then sit down and just enjoy some snacks and grow his little pumpkins. So that's just kind of Eric's area. Eric was my favorite for a very long time until Flurry came along. I still love him though. I think he's such a special, amazing villager. So he deserved this very, very cute little spot. Alright, and then let's go and walk along this path just to give you a quick overview before we head on down. This is my museum. Sahara is visiting. She's, you know, that's not really fitting, but that's fine, My museum is kind of a sunken museum, so everything around it is up a tier, but you can head on down here, and there's lots of statues, lots of trees, of course, lots of plants and rock items. All right, excuse me. All right, you can actually go through this pathway. This is how you get to Gonzo's area. I was running out of inclines maybe, which hopefully will be resolved soon, but for now that was kind of the solution. So here is Gonzo's house. Gonzo has another log cabin, but in a different style. I thought these two looked really, really cool together. And then he can just sit over here and fish. I think that Gonzo is an absolute grandpa, so I wanted to kind of portray that as well. He has a little rocking chair and a sewing area. He has a little workbench over here. Also, this hopping stone right here is a little shortcut to Flurry's house, so you could also walk this way. And then the beach by Gonzo's house is a big, big playground. I kind of picture this to be the playground from his childhood maybe, but it's been quite some time, so it's very overgrown now, very green, very Plantcore. And then on the back rock, I just kind of wanted to make a little zen spa area, so that's this, you know, with the double rainbow, kind of cute. And he has a pet turtle. We named this turtle Tonzo, so essentially this is Gonzo and Tonzo living together. We thought that was quite cute. Yeah, and he can just kind of enjoy his days over here in this area. Let's head back to the museum and up the stairs to then follow along the path. So my museum also has my rock garden right here, which is along the pathway. This was kind of a pain, and I will forever be impressed by anybody who makes a rock garden, because this was not easy, but I think it was worth it. I think it's kind of cute. And then there is just this little like research area right here with some fossils and some shovels. If you wanted to, you could follow this little path, which is kind of a shortcut to behind resident services, but we're actually going to go back, follow the path so we get the full tour. But yeah, essentially the museum just has a bunch of rock items. There's also this little area where you can paint that, you know, rock formation that you see right there. And then if we follow along, we get to one of my other favorite areas, I would say. This is, well, there's a pumpkin patch right here. Pumpkin patch, lots of pumpkins kind of displayed on this side. And then we got Winnie's farm area. If you stand here, you tilt your camera up. This is a very, very cute picture spot right here. I really like this one very much because it has this little like overview character, which I think is kind of cool. But yeah, so there's just a little pumpkin patch. You can sit down over here on this bench, just kind of enjoy the little breeze by the water. It was very important to me that in the DA there was quite a bit of wind so that all the plants are kind of in movement, or wobbling as I like to say, so you can enjoy that. You can just sit down somewhere and watch them kind of do their thing. And then we can of course head down to Winnie's area. Her house is absolutely perfect for this island, of course. There's a little duck pond to the side. The rock in the back is kind of like a prep area, so she can like cut up all the fruit from the trees, all of that kind of stuff. And then to the left is a little animal area, so we've got lots and lots of different farm animals to keep Winnie company. Winnie is a horse, so this all just kind of made sense. And if you wanted to, you can even go back here and just kind of go onto the little hammock and again enjoy island life. All right, and then let's go back up and continue the tour because we're not done yet. All right, and then if we go over here, there's a little bike for you, and we got Grizzly roaming around in between the trees. He is such a sweetheart. He always walks around this area. Hello, Grizzly, hiding behind a tree. All right, before we go down, let's go and circle around the back. So there is a little garden shed right here. This is Grizzly's entire area, essentially. He lives in a tree house. This is his treehouse. We will see another shot of this from the front in just a bit. And he has a tree farm, which we will also see. Hello, Grizzly. It's very good to see you. But yeah, and then for his tree farm and all of that, of course, he needs all the tools and like soil and saplings. So that's just all stored in the garden shed right here. And then running to the front, we're just kind of running through this little hyacinth garden, and you can also sit down over here again by the water. I dropped some beans for you to feed the ducks over here if you wanted to. And then if we follow along over here, over this bridge, this is Grizzly's tree farm. So he's growing all kinds of trees and all kinds of sizes. And then if you tilt down here, you can also kind of see Grizzly's tree house from the front, all very overgrown. He is a cranky. He's actually, I think, one of my sister's favorite, and at some point I just fell in love with him, and so he kind of wants to be by himself, but you know, we respect that. All right. Following along here, there is actually a little path right here that you can jump on over right there, and then you can stand on this sunflower, open up your camera, and have a lovely little view of kind of the tree farm, the tree house, and then this little flower field that I made down there. This was just kind of, you know, adding a nice little bit of depth, I think. Also, I do apologize for the lag on this island. There's quite a lot of items, so it's not really processing it too well, but that's just kind of how it goes, I guess. That's just kind of how it goes. Alright, I also created another little land bridge here. This is actually kind of the same level of land bridge. If you tilt it down, this is kind of the view you get. And from this land bridge, you head on to the camper van market. So we have a little welcome sign over here. There's some paintings sold to the right. And then if you actually go and enter, there is a first little van that offers all of the crafted, handcrafted items such as candles, clay things, pots, all of that. And then the second one is a little honey one. We got some honey chocolate, honey tea, all of that kind of stuff. And of course we have some flower farms, you know, for making all of the honey as well. And last but not least, of course, we have this little stand right here, which sells all kinds of donuts and cakes and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, let's head back onto the main pathing and then actually go and head down the stairs. Now we're onto the botanical garden. This is a little bit of a maze. It's kind of tough to walk around, but I think the pathing here is kind of fun. So I just wanted to create this kind of pattern right here. And then this is just the botanical garden. So there's lots of like more exotic looking plants, you know, some water features and all of that kind of stuff, so you can kind of head around and look at it, kind of relax a little bit here on this little bench if you wanted to, and just kind of enjoy the calm vibes and the water sounds. And there is also a plant shop kind of attached to it, so you can head on over here. This is kind of like a, I was gonna say merch store, but you know, it's kind of, it just sells all the kinds of plants that you would want in your house, and it also goes out to the beach as well. So there's lots and lots for you to discover all the way over here. There's also a speed build of this area up if you wanted to check that out. And then let's go in between the trees here, which is Callie's area. She's also walking around right here. She's looking to buy some more plants. I can sense that. This is Callie's area. Callie has a little spa. She can just kind of relax on this little mum cushion. She can lay down on the towel, or of course we have the cypress bathtubs right here to create a little zen moment on the beach. Or of course she could head on over here to the pier and lay down. As I finished this island before the update, I decided to just go to town with this design and not leave any room for Captain. But soon I think we'll all have to kind of rethink our pier designs. That'll be very interesting. Alright, heading up the beach, there's just a little laundry area in these two small sections because I always kind of find those very charming on the beach. I don't know. And then we are heading to this little filler area, you know, that just has a slight little path. This is also where the flower field is that we just saw from the top. And you can head on to the rock as well and just do some yoga if you wanted to. Oh, not here, bugs. No, no. But yeah, you can do some yoga here if you wanted to. Also, very pretty with the double rainbow. It's not around for too long in the DA, so if you end up visiting and the double rainbow is gone, but you would like to have a picture there, just go and visit again because it resets the time, because it adds quite a bit to the sky, I think. To the back of the beach, there's just this little mum garden or green mum walk or whatever you want to call this. And then we have a flower shop at the very end, plus just this little area with the lighthouse. Again, this was just a little bit of a filler decoration, and I really do like the lighthouse, so I kind of wanted to include that. And then this is my secret beach. I pictured as kind of this like Red's exotic plants area. So he has all types of plants. He has some animals that I'm a little bit worried about. He has all kinds of fabric, you know, some gold items. all of that kind of stuff is combined over here. Little turtle, you know, all of the exotic things. It's a little bit of a shady place, but at the same time, kind of cool to look at. So there's that. And then we're just gonna go head down the beach again to the botanical garden and go up the stairs. So like I said, you have to kind of backtrack here, but I think that's kind of okay. So we'll just go through the botanical garden and head up the stairs and then continue our journey down here. Another small little land bridge, you know, with a kind of sunken waterfall area to the right. It's kind of a big area, so I don't know if you could call it that, but you know, place you have like this little spot that you can look at with the little pond. And then we are on to Zell's area. So Zell is actually the campsite keeper. The campsite is down below by the beach. We'll get there in a second. So we got lots of additional tents over here. Our story for Zell was kind of that he was this like big city boy, and he just kind of wanted to have a break from it. So he went on a vacation to a Plantcore Island, but he liked it so much that he stayed around, and now he's just kind of looking over the campsite and brings those vibes and that joy to lots and lots of other people. You can sit over here, drink some tea, read some books, and then for a good campsite, of course, we also have some shower stalls over here with the little Cosmo shower. I think that's an adorable item. And so that's kind of Zell's story on this island. All right, let's head on over here, where you can already see my house in the distance. Again, little sunken waterfall area to the left, kind of, you know, just a little bit of an interesting landscaping and waterscaping decision. And then my house is actually placed on a floating island. That was pretty much the only idea I had for my house. And then I just made a little mum garden in front of it because mums are actually my sub badges over on Twitch. So I kind of wanted to have something in front of my house that meant something to me. And so I kind of created that here, which I think is kind of adorable. And I would say with that, let's go and head on into the house before we continue our tour, because this house is also fully decorated. All right, so here we are in the main room. This is supposed to be kind of a Plantcore living room, I would say. The leaf piles might be a little weird, but I just kind of wanted to add that for some more like texture and all of that. I quite like the sounds in this room. We have like the little bird chirping, the leaf piles. We also have this item over there that just like does a little water sound every once in a while. There we go. And if you wanted to, you could even turn on the little train. I just kind of turned that off, but you know. All right, let's go to the room in the back first. This room is actually inspired by an interior speed build that I also did on my channel, and this is supposed to kind of be a Plantcore library, sitting room, yoga room. It's kind of everything and nothing. You can sit here, read books, you can do some yoga on that little yoga mat, or just kind of enjoy your time. I put on some chill music so you can just kind of relax. Also, I like adding the fans in every room so that the plants wobble every once in a while. I find that quite a very, very nice detail and feature. And now we are in the room to the right. This is my kitchen. I think a lot of people use this furniture for the kitchen. It is still one of my favorites. I'm very excited to see the new kitchen stuff with the update, but this was kind of just what I really wanted to create here. It's kind of a darker color scheme, and of course we got lots and lots of plants. And then you may spot Lily's picture over there, as well as Ellie's picture over on this other wall. Both of them I had on my island for quite some time, and I really, really liked them. It's just that at some point I fell in love with other villagers, or actually admittedly exchanged them because of their houses or something like that, but I still kind of wanted them to be part of the final Neverland tour as well. The room to the left is just kind of a spa or like bathroom area. It's a pretty simple build, I feel like, but I just kind of saw this like idea of the like ship deck flooring with this bathtub, and I really liked it. So I just kind of built some plants around it, added some candles to make this extra cozy, and this is the bathroom situation. Let's head upstairs. And here we are upstairs. This room is slightly inspired by my IRL room. It's definitely not as pretty as this, but you know, I do have a bed, you know, and like a TV with lots and lots of plants all around. I put some things on the walls that kind of made sense. I do have a macrame IRL, so I wanted to put that down. This over here is kind of supposed to be my streaming setup. We didn't have a fancy, you know, a streaming desk at this point, so I had to like kind of improvise. But apart from that, you know, put lots and lots of plants, and then kind of some of my staple items that I wear all the time on the wall. So it, you know, there's like a wardrobe, there's a yoga area, my bed, a TV, my streaming setup, all that kind of stuff that just kind of portrays me and kind of means quite a bit to me. And last but not least, there is the downstairs room. This room is kind of supposed to be a cozy Animal Crossing sleepover or slumber party or something like that. You can kind of see 3 different switches scattered around. There's lots and lots of items, kind of providing some natural light. This was always something I really, really enjoyed on other islands, was if they turned off the light and just had some natural light sources, and I really like it. You can see Ketchup and Joey on the wall there. Also villagers that stayed on Neverland for a long time, so I wanted them to be included. And there's one more villager on the other wall, which is Rod, the little purple mouse. He actually was my starter along with Hazel. I loved him, but the color and everything, so I had to say goodbye to him at some point, but really, really like him. And so yeah, I put his photo up so that he also forever is a part of Neverland, kind of. And with that, I would say let's head outside again. All right, let's continue the journey, shall we? So back over the bridge, we have this little bookity nookity, as we like to call it, you know, just a little cozy spot for you to sit, read some books. And then let's follow this sign and go up the stairs. So we have just a little pumpkin patch over to the left. And then if we cross this bridge right here, we arrived at Nook's Cranny. Nook's Cranny is kind of a box core build, as I like to call it. There's lots and lots of boxes in all kinds of sizes around because of all the deliveries, of course. And then with codes and some plant items, I just kind of tried and turned it into a Plantcore build as well. And we can also actually walk in front of it. There's a little farm right here. This is right behind a cafe area, which we'll get to in a second. So it's kind of like a coffee farm or a cacao tree farm, whatever you want it to be, really. And then you can walk along this path and follow it over here to Bones area. So you kind of hop over here. Again, you could climb up. This is also where that shortcut from the research area kind of leads to. And Bones actually loves to run around, so I kind of tried to give him lots of room to do just that. Plus, of course, there's lots of cozy spaces for him to chill and read a book, because the inside of his house is a little library. You can also sit over here, drink some coffee, you know, right behind Hazel's house, kind of. And kind of most importantly, maybe, he takes care of the green mum garden, which was actually an area I built pretty early on. And this also functions as a land bridge kind of lookout spot. So you can stand right here, take this picture. You can also climb up here from the bottom. So if you wanted to take a picture of this with the double rainbow still completely intact, you can climb up here earlier on in the tour and then climb back down again. But yeah, this is kind of an area that I really wanted to have on this island. I always love when there's these like lookout spots, so I made sure that this was going to work with the land bridge, and I kind of like it. And every time I show it, people are really nice about it, which of course does make me happy. So I'm very happy that it's part of the island. All right, let's head back over to Nook's Cranny and walk past the little farm and then go down the stairs, and I'll show you the little cafe area. So if you head down here, you can already see the tables and chairs. Hello, Blair. Welcome, welcome. I have to shove you a little bit. I'm sorry. And then we have the camper van cafe right here, which is actually called Flurry Bucks. We have that little sign indicating the Flurry Bucks area, and you can sit down in different spots and enjoy your coffee if you wanted to. And then you can also follow this little path over here, which actually leads to Hazel's house, which we already kind of talked about. Hazel has the play hobby, so I kind of tried to give her some more fun items, you know, and then she does have this little chair, which, fun fact, she actually can't walk here by herself. We pushed her once on stream and she couldn't leave it anymore, which was sad and funny at the same time. But of course she has a little chair to keep an eye on the airport, you know, it's very important. It's very important. All right, let's head back and circle around these chairs and the camper van setup. And then we will head down these stairs, which is right behind resident services. We have Gonzo and Hazel here today. Hello, you two. My resident services is pretty caged in. There's like cliffs to pretty much all the sides. You would just have this little hangout spot on this side. Another little cozy oasis kind of for you, you know, just enjoy the very loud waterfalls and all of that. We'd love to see it. Here is the outfit drop for you that you can wear in the DA, plus of course a ladder for you to have easier access to some areas if you want it. We have another diagonal bridge. I wish I had a wide angle because I feel like this might be a cute area, and the sad thing is that in the DA, of course, oh, Gonzo. Luna is on the plaza, so that is not, you know, as pretty of an area. I think Gonzo is just talking to the ducks, so we're gonna leave him to that and then follow along over here, where there is another little camper van by our campsite area. This is the actual campsite area. Now you also see how it's tied to Zell's place right there. So it's all kind of one big build over different cliffs. And we have a visitor. We have a visitor today. You can't visit in the DA, so let's actually go and do that right now. And we actually have Groucho here today. I really love Groucho. I think he's super, super cute. I kind of fell in love with him on a villager hunt. It's just that when he talks, he's like extra adorable. Like it's really cute. He lives on one of my islands, and he just came to visit Neverland today. And back out on the beach, we're back by the campsite. You know, there's lots of, again, lots of plants, lots of spaces for you to just chill out. There is actually a campfire over here as well, plus a little picnic area for you to enjoy some fruit or some other little snacks. And then heading onto this path, we are actually by the airport again. And that is my island. I hope I didn't forget anything and I didn't forget any areas that I wanted to show you, but this is pretty much it. And now make sure to stick around because I'll talk a bit more about my inspiration and some more fun details. I've been playing Animal Crossing since the 3rd of July of 2020. That's when I got my Switch and the game, and that's also when Neverland actually came to be. But I've only been working on the Plantcore Island since the 20th of January of 2021, and fun fact, it took me exactly 9 months to finish this as I literally placed the last item on the 20th of October of this year. I have never restarted Neverland before, but I've definitely flattened, so I think I started out with what you would now refer to as normcore. I then tried out some cottagecore builds, but never really felt that inspired, and then for winter, I actually built a huge Christmas market on my island. But then I ended up tearing it all down in January, and I started this theme. As I've mentioned probably one too many times, I would call this a Plantcore Island. I just knew that I wanted it to be this very like lush green, like botanical garden, national park kind of feeling, super overgrown. And because at that point I felt like cottagecore or even the existing springcore didn't really describe it perfectly, I just kind of named it Plantcore, I think. I actually get a lot of my inspiration just from in-game items. Like I see certain items that I want to make an area with and I just kind of try around with them. The same thing actually goes for custom codes, especially like standee designs oftentimes inspire certain areas. By the way, all the codes I've used on this island are linked on my card, which I will put in the description box down below. I definitely would also say that the entire community inspires me with sometimes how to place certain items and stuff like that. And then there's 2 accounts on Instagram that I would definitely like to mention, as I think that they both inspired this need for a very lush green island. And they are crossing.callisto as well as breadpoons.crossing. I hope I said those correctly. I would definitely like to point those out for inspiration. I wanted my island name to just be something that was linked to me, as this was like the first island I ever started, and I didn't even know that people linked it to like their themes or anything. And Neverland for me actually comes from the TV show Once Upon a Time. I love that show, and my favorite character is Captain Hook, and like the closest tie there is Neverland, so I thought that was just kind of nice. And even though my theme isn't related to that at all, I feel like an overgrown green island kind of fits the entire vibe. And then my flag is just Peter Pan, because that was kind of just what made sense to my brain with the name Neverland. I think my favorite areas on this island would have to be the land bridge, probably Winnie's farm and the botanical garden. And actually, a fun fact, Winnie's farm was supposed to be something completely different first because Ketchup was living there, and I had planned to just give her like this giant pond, but then it was really hard for me to find inspiration with her red house, and then I discovered Winnie, and the rest is history, I guess. Some of my favorite items in the game. Well, I don't think I can answer this question and just leave out the plants. I mean, obviously, I've used them so much on this island. They are definitely some of my favorite items. I would also like to say the shrubs. I've never really used out-of-season shrubs before. That was a lot of fun. If I can, I'd say the bamboo trees in different sizes. Those were a lot of fun. But if you ask me for absolute staples, I think I would have to say the barrels, the wooden stools, and probably the log stakes. Those are some staples I always kind of reach for if I'm stuck. My absolute favorite villager, as you might know, is Flurry. I love her so much that I have her on all 3 of my islands, and I don't regret anything. I just have to. She brings me so much joy. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the island as well as the island tour. If you do end up visiting yourself and you want to share some pictures to social media, please do tag me, as I'd love to see those. Make sure you give a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and also make sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss any future Animal Crossing or cozy gaming content. And then I hope you have an awesome time until I see you next time. Bye everyone!